Hi everyone, let's talk about A Thief's Fortune, which again is on Kickstarter right now, and you can click the link in the description to head over to the campaign page. So, I really enjoy this. It is a fairly fast playing, combo crazy card game, really. The concept's quite a novel thing. It isn't, essential to what you're doing in the game, but the actual idea that we're playing the various futures of this character is a cool thing in this Aladdin, and someone mentioned on Twitter earlier actually, Prince of Persia kind of theme. You could kind of imagine it in those worlds, but the theme, the idea of it does lead to this interesting thing of this past, present, future idea where you have these cards lined up that are ready to come into your present, and you are able to use those cards. But for various reasons, you desperately want the resources off them, but you don't necessarily want the card yet because it's going to push something out of your present that you desperately want to use, or maybe you desperately want a card, but it's got danger on it, and you don't want to get any more because you can't afford to pay that at the end of this round, or it's going to push you over your limit, and either of those are going to make you lose points. There are lots of nice little things tugging you in different directions, but the game itself plays at 2 players anyway, which is my experience of it. At 2 players anyway, it's fairly fast, despite the fact that or maybe I should say I am quite a slow player. That could be an issue, if you've got a lot of analysis paralysis prone people. What makes the game really interesting and full of these combinations is not only do you have to worry about what resources you have, what cards you are drafting, but also the order that everything is executed in. Getting that perfectly really sets up your engine, really, and it can be affected by what other people do. If you're trying to compete for the most danger, for example, you need to maybe do that first. But certain things, I've got this location that's going to give me things when I bring characters in, but I need all of these characters in, so I want to get the location out first, then do these characters, but I need these resources first, so I need to get this event in. That kind of planning is a big factor in it, and while that does add to the enjoyment of figuring out this puzzle, I bet if you are playing with a lot of slow people, that could really add to the playtime, especially at 4 players. But hey, that's down to your group, isn't it? The game itself, though, I like the drafting system. It's got that nice thing that was in Fields of Green, also from Artipia a couple of years ago, where there are different decks and you have some influence over which decks you would like to draw from. So you will know in the situation that you're in, in the first round it doesn't matter as much, but once you're in a particular situation going down a particular path, it's nice to have the option of not necessarily drawing what you want, but if you get rewarded for bringing loads of characters out, okay, I'm going to keep drawing characters then and hope to really do that. And yeah, there are quite a lot of cards just in the base game where your route to victory is quite variable, whether it's through the characters that are exchanging resources for points, or the events that will want you to meet certain conditions with cards you've got out, or some want you to spend resources, or you want to compete for danger, or maybe you're going to take danger off the other players. Yeah, there's a lot going on in a fairly small fast card game, really. It's definitely it's quite simple to learn the rules. It's very light on I've only got prototype rules, but it's only a few pages to explain the whole system. But the depth is in, as with a lot of games, the depth is in how all of these cards interact with each other, and how the game kind of reveals itself as you are in the middle of a game, that now what I first thought was just, I'll just put that down. Now this has led to this big chain of, I get rewarded for bringing faux characters out, so I'm going to activate this faux character that lets me get the resources off this, and now that's brought another character in, which has scored me points by putting things in the past. Yeah, there's a lot to, there's not a lot to digest in rules, but there is a lot going on with your decisions in the game without it being without a lot of stuff needing to be remembered. And the draft is cool as well, for not just being a standard draft where we are passing all of the cards over, we are passing, you pick one and then you pass 2 along. So in a 2-player game, at least, your cards might come back to you, hopefully, that you are passing over, but there's always a risk that they won't. But if you desperately need things, you can kind of hang on to them so that you can kind of build up those combos a little bit better. You can have a better idea, but inevitably, as your pool of cards shrinks in the second or third go round of drafting, you are inevitably going to have to give up something that you really wanted, which is kind of the key to the drafting anyway. But yeah, as I said, you could have an issue with playtime with AP prone players, because you can really get into the puzzle of not just what to bring out, but how to execute it and in what order you execute everything, because yeah, timing is a really important factor in this. But aside from that little thing, and it's not really been much of an issue for me. I'm the AP prone one, so I don't annoy myself. But yeah, the Thief's Fortune, really snappy depending on what players you're playing with. But yeah, really interesting, combo crazy card game. And yeah, if you haven't seen the playthrough, I played through the whole game, so hopefully that'll give you a better idea than this rambling did of whether the game would be for you. And the campaign page is there in the description, so you can check that out. Also, I'll mention, because it's pretty much the last time that I'll mention it, my Kickstarter for the channel to keep all of these videos going is in its last day or so. And if you would like to help, if you can help out to keep all of these videos coming, then I would really appreciate if you could take a look at that page. The video will kind of be surrounded with icons for you to click on now. Playthrough, Kickstarter, subscribe, all of these things, they're hanging around, and I'm just talking so that they can kind of be here. Hopefully my head's not getting in the way of any of them. Anyway, this video was meant to be about A Thief's Fortune. Thank you for watching, everybody, and I'll see you for the next game. Bye.